Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Talkin Kop. It is the Sunday night show. I'm Gav. I have with me, I have Matt, and I have Seany, and we've quite a bit to talk about. We could talk about Liverpool playing AC Milan yesterday, but listen, they were all just running around getting fit. It was all grand. There's no need to get upset about that. So we'll probably leave that to the side. We're going to talk mostly about transfer stuff because that's literally what's happening every day now at this stage. Matt, I'm going to start with you. I'm going to start where I think we should start, and it's Luis Diaz. Left out of the squad. He wasn't in the squad yesterday for that game against AC Milan. Heavily linked to Bayern Munich. And today, breaking-ish news throughout today that agreement is being met between Liverpool and Bayern Munich. Pick a figure anywhere between 65 and 70 million pounds and you'll be on the money. And that's how it works now. And if you can get within 6 million of what it actually is, you're absolutely correct. And that's how transfers work now. But it looks like he will go to Bayern Munich for in the region of 67 to 69 million pounds, right? Let's call it that, man. How do you feel on this one? You know, it feels like it makes an awful lot of sense as to, you know, if you're looking in the bigger picture as to what we're looking to do, i.e. Alexander Isak, and we get to him in a bit. But how do you feel over this? Because something stuck in my head that Seany said a week or two ago where he said, look, we're buying win-now footballers. And I think we are going to buy a win-now footballer off the back of this. But I don't know if we're upgrading his position by doing this. That's my only little thing on this. Where are you on it?
It's obviously sad to see him go. I mean, Luis Diaz was a wonderful player for us in the time he was with us, and he had an incredible song. He just had an incredible song, and that's, you know, somebody's going to have to repurpose that tune for somebody else. I'm okay with it for two reasons. One is, even with the add-ons, his purchase price that we paid to Porto was 43 million pounds 4 years ago. And now we're turning around and we're making 25, 26, 30 million profit off of the back of a player that we've had for 4 years. It's pretty hard to turn your nose up at that ever. And the other part of it that makes me completely okay with it is the fact that we have Cody Gakpo. And I'm okay with Cody Gakpo playing off of the left wing. There's a reason why last year, when we couldn't rely on our two out-and-out center forward players to play through the middle, that Cody Gakpo was deployed exclusively from the left wing. And Luis Diaz was the one that had to change his position and play through the middle. That could have gone the other way, because before the start of last season, it was Cody Gakpo was the one that was played through the middle. Quite clearly, Arne Slot and that team came in. They've identified that Cody Gakpo is much more effective playing off of the left wing, and he's still there with us. I mean, at the start of the summer, you had the rumor that Bayern wanted to come in and, you know, they were sniffing around Cody Gakpo, and they were told pretty unequivocally, not a chance.
Mm-hmm.
And then they must have just went, well, what about the other left winger? And they went, yep. And that's where the deal's gotten from there. So I think financially, it's a great bit of business for Liverpool. That's going to look great on the PSR books because his deal's almost completely paid off. So this is pretty much pure profit. And it's not like we're dying for a left winger because we have our starting left winger at the club.
Yeah. A lot of people do forget Cody Gakpo and all this because the conversation around Luis Diaz was, will he go? You know, he played an awful lot through the middle, and if we're replacing him, or we replace him with a striker, I think we are. And then Cody Gakpo kind of gets pushed to the side, and then Rio Ngamoa has been, from the clips in pre-season and even the clips in the game the other day, looks so good. But I don't want to put too much pressure on, like, you know, a 16/17-year-old. Seany, as Matt says there, look, you know, if you're paying that 43 million over 5-6 years, I think it was a 6-year deal he signed at the time, you know what I mean, you're paying what, 7 million a year. We've probably paid 28 to 43 off if you're going to take it in simple maths, and now you're going to put 67 to 69 million on that. It's 40 plus million in pure profit, and that goes against your PSR, and it's massive. 40 million in profit, not just the transfer fee of 40, but of profit, is huge when you're looking to go and do other things. And we've seen some football financial experts saying, listen, Liverpool have spent 295 million and they can go and spend another 200 million and it's no problem to them, because the way things are, and we get onto that a little bit later as well. But just in the sense of Luis Diaz leaving, we are losing something in this squad, Seany, but what we're trying to replace it with is goals. That's basically it, Seany. We're trying to replace it with goals.
Yeah, look, I was of the idea that to get started, I thought the rhetoric at the end of the season was weird, where the club basically came out and just said, look, Diaz isn't for sale, I'm not giving him a new contract. I thought that was just a weird way to put it to begin with. And that's when I kind of knew that it's the beginning of the end of this fella. That they're looking for big money from Saudi and they're going to let this fella go. As it turns out, it looks like he was offered a deal back in May and didn't take it. Now, I was always of the idea that if the rumoured wages were true, that he was on 55 grand a week, I was like saying to myself, Luis Diaz is 28, you offer him a 2-year extension on double his current wages, and if he doesn't take it, you move him on and do the money ball thing where you sell him for a profit and bring in a 22, 23-year-old from somewhere in Europe to come in and deputise with Cody Gakpo. And then you move on with it. And I thought that was the way we were all going to go. And to be honest with you, I don't really have any qualms with Diaz wanting to leave, because I don't really blame him not wanting to sit around in his prime years on 55k a week, because
there is rumours that he was actually on 140 grand
yeah,
a week.
Well, look, listen, he was probably being underpaid, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
He's a top 5 left winger probably in the world in terms of output, and he wasn't being paid like that. So I don't really have any issue with him wanting to go, and he goes with the best wishes. And I look back and was a very good Liverpool player. I think he was a very good Liverpool player who was potentially robbed of being an excellent Liverpool player. I think when he comes in, he lights the place up and he's electric, and he gets that injury away to Arsenal by T. Piddy, whatever way you want to call him, but he does him. And he's never really he's not the same player when he comes back. He's good, but he's not the same. But I think the way this window has unfolded, an opportunity has come where Liverpool get good money for Luis Diaz and bring in a best-in-class attacker, i.e. Alexander Isak. So then you do it. And then on top of that, you have a very promising player coming through in Rio Ngomoe, who I think kind of won the lottery this summer by having his little growth spurt, because I always felt that the only thing that was going to let him down was physicality. We've seen so many players down the year who are fast, tricky little fellas who are great technically, but just never develop physically enough where they can translate that game into the senior football. And I think that's gone away over the summer, because he comes back and he looks like a man, and he looks like he's being trusted by Slot. And we know what that's all about. Now, I'm not going to get ahead of myself, because Jarell Kwanzaa looked like he was going to be one of the best standout centre-backs in the league last year during pre-season. He was flying, you know what I mean? And then he has a horror show, force 45 away at Ipswich, and then you don't see him again starting the game until we win the league. So I will be kind of coy in that aspect. But I've been of the idea now that I think Rio's no longer a project. And I think that young lad signed for Liverpool in the pretense that fairly soon you're going to get a chance to play senior first team football, because we believe you're that good. I think Chelsea actually believed they were that good. They tried very, very hard to hold on to him. And I think he's probably looked at this pre-season, the first 2-3 weeks of the players being back going, and he probably turned around to Edwards and go, "Do you know what? Go and get me Isak and get rid of Darwin and Diaz and spend it on Yoke, because on Isak, because I'm actually happy for this young kid. I don't care what age he is. I think he's more than good enough to win behind Cody Gakpo here and be an option for us at left wing." And that's the way I see it now. I know there's obviously talk of this Fofana kid coming in, but he probably look more towards replacing Chiesa in the squad. That I've no real issue with, because he played so few minutes that selling Chiesa won't have a huge impact. But I'm not worried about Diaz going, because I feel between the signings of Ekitike and Isak, you're going to more than cover his goal contributions that he made last season. And I'd say 75% of Diaz's goal contributions probably came from playing down through the middle for us last year, which was really look another side of a game that was brilliant. But we've Ekatike who can play off left now, and I know he won't, but Isak can do it as well if we sign him, being hypothetical. So I feel like this is a situation where it's one of them when a sale happens and everyone wins. It's kind of like shake hands, dust off, you head off into the sunset, we'll get a nice pay packet, and we have an adequate replacement either already at the club or lined up, and everyone wins. So yeah, I've no real issue with it.
Yeah,
a brilliant player for us, and I trust the hierarchy to do the right things in terms of the personnel that's coming in afterwards. So yeah, I don't really have any qualms, and it's a good price as well. I think it's a fair price.
it's a really good price.
I was hoping, like I looked for a while there that it could possibly peter out, but I think it's just one of them things that again just suits both clubs. So yeah, look, he goes with me best wishes, and I think he's very replaceable. And I say that with the utmost respect. I think he's a very replaceable player. I think they're gonna go with this kid Rio. I genuinely do.
Yeah.
I've always had the feeling.
When you look at Slot and you go back to even as Feyenoord days, he has that young lad that was at Newcastle. He's at Brighton now, isn't it? Minta. I think he was really young, and he had him starting for Feyenoord, so he'd no problem there. And I know people would say, like, oh, well, that's the Dutch league. Yeah, but he's in a Dutch league that he's trying to win. You know, it's not like he's in the Dutch league where you go, listen, I might come fourth and everyone will be happy. He's trying to win against PSV Eindhoven and Ajax, and he puts him in. And he has a great season, and he gets that move actually off the back of that long spell at Feyenoord. Sorry, so I don't think he's afraid to back young players. I really don't. And you know, we've seen a couple of Liverpool youngsters that are signing new long-term deals and go on loan and stuff like that. McConnell, I think, is one of them that's being reported this week. Arj says there, Ekatike, lads, he's not a winger. Come on, lads, he's never played there. I just find that shout strange. No, we never said Ekatike was a winger. Let's put that on the record. What we're saying is that we're going to actually we're going to sell Luis Diaz. We're going to let Engamo come in as Gakpo's understudy, and the direct replacement for Luis Diaz is going to be a central striker. That's how he's going to be replaced. It's not like we're going to sign, you know, pick a left winger and we're going to go out and sign him. It's not that. What we're going to do is we're just going to replace him in a different way in the squad by bringing a guy through in Engamo that I think's looked electric in any of the footage I've seen. And I know it's pre-season, but all them players are at a similar level in this pre-season, getting their fitness up. He just looks so sharp, and he looks physically able, quick with his feet, and he's making a fool of a few people in those training videos, and I'm not against it by any means, no matter who it is. If he's good enough to dance around some Liverpool players and put the ball in the net, he's good enough to do against most. That's where I am on it.
Look, we're all led to believe now there's some sort of conspiracy that
this is a great one. I've enjoyed this
videos because he was taking the piss out of Trent. For which is in some world, in this world, very believable. Yeah, again, look, I think we're going to be fine in terms of. I don't think we're going to be turning around in 6 months going, fucking hell, Liverpool don't score enough goals. So I don't think.
No, I think they're putting. Yeah, I think they're putting it because Gakpo had a really good return last year. Gakpo had a good return last year. Salah is Salah. And then you looked, and let's be honest, we did look at Jota and we looked at Nunez, and we said, will we get enough goals out of them, or do they suit what we're trying to do? Ekatike looks like he'll get you goals, and if Isak comes along, like, you know, he gets you goals. It's replacing in different ways, but it's trying to put more goals into this team, and I think it's trying to put more fear into other teams as well, to go, if you want to come out and play us, lads, fair enough, but this is what we're up against here. Look, he's gonna go. The rumoured amount is about 260,000 euros, I think it is. It could be pounds, it could be dollars, because we're fucking doing it. All the currencies come out now, apparently, when you're trying to make up stories and push a narrative, but it is quite a jump. Even if he's on 140,000 at Liverpool, it's quite a jump in the way he's going to get at Bayern. But then again, he's Bayern's kind of marquee signing this summer, and they wanted him, and you know, a bit of it is, I think, it's Bayern saving face by going, we'll take someone from Liverpool because they took Wirtz. A bit of it is there, but he's gonna go. It looks like he's left Liverpool's camp to go and sign for Bayern Munich. And like Shawnee said, I think we all wish him the absolute best, because he's never done anything but try for Liverpool. He's had some huge games. He stood in when needed to. I thought he was huge for us last season. When central strikers weren't doing it, and he signed off in the best possible way. He brought a title to Liverpool, so we go there. The knock on to this, Matt, is Alexander Isak. Right, and this is gone on. And to be fair, like, it's been a laugh. I'm not gonna like pretend it's not. It's been a laugh, because watching journalists from the northeast and some Newcastle fans have come across great Davies in this chat very regularly, great fella, but tying themselves in knots over this, and not for sale, but the money is this. Not for sale, but El Halal might have a go here. Not for sale, we're signing Ekatike to play for him. Not for sale, we're actually signing Vissa as a backup. It's being bananas. But all this now points, Matt, to Liverpool going, right, that's Diaz done. And I think that's all they need. I think they just needed Diaz done to go and finance what they're about to finance. And Nunez and maybe an Elliott or whatever on top of it probably does us further down the window if we want to do anything else. But it seems pretty clear to me that Alexander Isak wants to join Liverpool Football Club. And I just think people are positioning themselves to paint their own narrative when this actually happens, Matt. It's an unbelievable transfer window if Liverpool sign Alexander Isak on top of Florian Wirtz, Frimpong, Kerkez, Ekatike, and there's probably one, if not two more, to come after him. It's phenomenal business. And doing it in such a comfort. Like, genuinely, the people that crunch numbers here, man, are just going, this is comfortable for them. They're not even, there's not a bead of sweat falling from their head here while they're doing this. It'll be off the fucking chain. You're muted.
I remember doing that. All of the people that defended FSG when in summer windows past, they were getting absolutely pelted from all sides because they're not spending enough money. I was one of those people. I know at times both of you have been to different extents, but saying, like, they have a model of running the club, and if the PSR is enforced even moderately to the level that they're planning on doing it, we're going to be golden. And we're fucking golden pony boy right now. It is brilliant. The fact that we're not beholden to getting huge money for our players. We don't even technically need to sell anybody to fund this summer and stay good of the PSR. Allows you to go. Somebody put in there that Bayern's first bid for Luis Diaz was about 45, 47 million pounds. Well, a club that's desperate to sell probably settles on 50. A club that doesn't need to sell that player can sit there and go, I'll tell you what, why don't you get up to 70 million and then we can start talking. And then you end up landing around 65, 67 million. That's an extra 20 million pounds in the bank right there for us. It's coming off absolutely brilliantly, Gab. Somebody else in the chat said that Wirtz and Alexander Isak will be, without question, the two best players to move in this transfer window. And we're going to sign them both. We're going to sign them both. The best right back that's going to move this transfer window is almost certainly going to end up being Jeremy Frimpong. Unless Denzel Dumfries or Ashraf Hakimi makes a late out of the blue move, something like that. The best left back that's going to move this summer is Milos Kerkez. It really seems like we've gone out and absolutely gotten the prime targets in every position that we could possibly want. The best of the best in class. And we're doing it with a strut and a swagger. I guess some rival fans would say some arrogance, or using financial terrorism to bully clubs that are, small little clubs like Newcastle that are just trying to survive in the big world. But a big six club is coming in and using all of the awful financial might that we have. It's so different from what Chelsea's doing. Is you can sit back with a clear conscience, not needing to build a second dressing room because you're just stockpiling players. Like, it's brilliant, Gab. It's a 10 out of 10 already. And if they add Alexander Isak and then the absolutely required center half that needs to get signed, if that's Mark Guehi, that's as good as a window could ever get. I don't know how you could possibly have a better transfer window than that. It's brilliant.
It's phenomenal. The only way you get better than Mark Guehi is if you go and sign one of the two Arsenal centre backs. Now I'm not against the lads, right? Just for the crack, right? Because it resulted nearly go out the window just for the response, right? But for me, look, I've seen Liverpool sell players, right? Coutinho, right? I got annoyed over the Trent thing. Like, that's what it is. When you support a football club, you're allowed to get annoyed. I've no problem with Newcastle fans being annoyed at Alexander Isak or Liverpool or whatever. But it happens. It's happened to us all. We've been on both sides of it, right? But let's call a spade a spade. The fucking nonsense coming out from people with regards to this cartel and Liverpool are spending, why aren't they under investigation and all, is like, it's so fucking narrow minded, and literally they've read it somewhere from someone and they went, there's my opinion and I'm running with it, right? First off, there is no cartel in the Premier League because it takes 14 clubs to vote everything through, right? So I don't know how 6 can get 14 votes, right? That's the first thing. The second thing is Newcastle with, we weren't allowed to do what Man City done. Let me promise you, Newcastle and others were voting against what Man City were doing before Newcastle got the money to try to do what Man City were doing. And the reason they can't do it is because they probably voted for it, right? So that's how that goes. And all this, I've seen one video during the week was like, a sleeping giant of a football club not being allowed to progress. They're not a sleeping giant of a football club. Let's call a spade a spade. They're not, right? They're a big-ish football club, right? Big-ish. And I don't know even what context to put that in, but that's what I would say. Newcastle to me are a big-ish football club. And when it comes down to it, right, I can remember going back 5, 6, 7 years ago and being in a position where Liverpool, who are a huge football club, going, we can't compete with that, and that, right? Because what we're doing is this, and what they're doing is up here, and we cannot compete. So we have to get better at what we're doing. We have to get better at recruitment. We have to get better at, deals we sign with sponsors, wherever it might be. Match day, we have to get better. Selling players, we have to get better at everything in order to progress. And that's what these clubs have to do. And yes, there probably is a ceiling to them at the moment, but it's up to them to break through a ceiling, not to turn around and go, well, we got all this money over here now, and I know we voted for these rules over here, but we want to change that now. And Newcastle, I think this, and I don't want to be too disrespectful here, but I think this transfer shows exactly where Newcastle are, and they need to stop thinking about all the money their owners have, because it's immaterial. What you need to do is you need to build. What they need to do is they need, and I don't really like saying this, but they need to probably say, right, listen, we have to learn from this. So we have to take this money now, and we have to go and we have to sign 2 players here, okay? And we're going to have to progress. And we're probably going to have to sell 1 in 2 years' time, and we're going to progress again and make it a long-term thing. But what happened with Newcastle for me is that these lads came in, they've all the money in the fucking world, and they went, well, we want to spend it all. Well, no, you voted against that. If you look back at this. Yeah, but why? Man City done it. Yeah, and you voted then to stop it. Do you know what I mean? And that's where Newcastle are as a football club, and that's where other clubs are as a football club. And I've heard stuff like, legacy wealth. Yeah, of course it is. Because these clubs build themselves up and up and up and up and up. And that's why Manchester United, who are fucking all over the place, are still able to spend money, because they make so much money. And it's about making money. It's about progressing and making more money every week and month and year in order for you to progress and improve and become more powerful in the world of football. And sometimes a level is found. And for me, Newcastle are at a level that can't compete at the moment. But I'm not saying in 3 or 4 or 5 years' time, Newcastle can't turn around and go, we're as big as Liverpool on the market, or as big as whoever on the market. But they're not going to do it the way they want to do it. And that's what's killing them. But this talk of a cartel is nonsense, because every single vote that goes through the Premier League needs 14 votes. And the cartel is meant to be the big 6. And now they're trying to make it the big 8, I think. But they'll need to make the big 14 in order for it to go through.
The PSR is even bigger than a red cartel, if they're going to speak, because it's voted by the 92 clubs that make up the Football League. So this is what PSR is for. Like, it's rank hypocrisy from Newcastle fans, and it's just an easy thing to do, to say, the red cartel, they call the shots. They were one of the 14 clubs, like you said, who voted in favour. But if there's if you're a Newcastle fan now watching this and you think that PSR is a diddle to make sure that the rich stay richer, you ask a Bury fan, a Macclesfield Town fan, a Hereford Town, Wimbledon, all of the Bolton who were a Premier League club now less than 20 years ago, Portsmouth who are in huge financial trouble at the moment, Reading who have gone through shy with John Medeski, who've been absolute shit show. Ask them how they feel about profit and sustainability, real, because Bury fans have nowhere to go and watch football anymore because the club no longer exists because of poor ownership. So PSR is not brought in to save the 1920 clubs in the Premier League and therefore in the Championship. It's to protect football clubs as a whole to being put into the wrong hands, ran so poorly that they're actually ran out of business. It's nothing got to do with Newcastle not being able to stick a fucking yellow sleeve on that badge from a company, from a PO box in Saudi Arabia and just funnel money in willy-nilly as they like. I think Newcastle fans at the moment are having a little bit of an identity crisis because, like you said, a sleeping joint, they would have been, we're one of these clubs who have values and this, that, and the other. And I get it. They fucking hated Mike Ashley. I reckon Benjamin Netanyahu could have come in and taken them over and they would have been happy, to be honest with you, because they hated Mike Ashley so much. That's just the truth. They hated him so much. But what's not talked about is Ashley actually left them in great nick financially because of his lack of spend. They never were actually in trouble of going out of business. He just didn't spend enough for their liking. But they're just not in line with having to grow organically. Man City got away with it. If it had been the other way around and Saudi Arabia had bought them 10, 15 years ago, they would have been able to do what they do. And City would have been stuck now going, the rules are there to bend. We can't bend it. No, you just have to sucker up and follow. Aston Villa are a bigger, way more successful club than Newcastle have ever been. And they're struggling as well. It's nothing got to do with a red cartel. Liverpool and Manchester United are global entities. And they're global entities because they've been successful over decades, where people from all over the world have said, look at them, they're really good, I'll support them. And that's what happened. We became an international. Arsenal, pretty much the same. So, and I'd say if you turned around to a Liverpool fan and said, how much are you paying for your season ticket? Or to a Newcastle fan, how much are you paying for your season ticket? That will apply. How much is your wage bill? How much is your wage bill? It's all that just being, it's rank hypocrisy and it's tribalism making fucking ages out of people again. It's just where you are, sit on the food chain. And that sounds very elitist, but it's not. It's just where you sit on the food chain. It's as simple as that. It's what Real Madrid done to us with Trent, are trying to do with Konate, we'll deal with Isak. What you're trying to do with Johan Wissa is kicking up a stink now, trying to get down Brentford. Where's fucking PS? Profit sustainability is not saving them, is it? Because you can't just throw money around willy-nilly. It doesn't work like that. You spent an awful lot of money on Tonali. You spent big money on Botman. And that's another thing that's doing me head in. They're acting like they haven't spent a fucking bean. They paid 60-odd million to bring Isak in. They're getting their money's worth. Liverpool have done nothing wrong here. That's the thing that annoys me the most. But if you ask me, I think Liverpool have actually done it by the book. Because Liverpool literally said, listen, we've loads of money and we want to give it to you for your main fella. Like a record bid. We're not coming in here and offering you buttons and saying, let him go. Similar to what happened with Gyökeres, where it went up for 6 months and Sporting just got a pain in the holes and said, here, fucking take him. We're literally turning around saying, we are willing to pay you more money than anyone has ever paid for a player on the island of fucking England. Is he for sale or is he not for sale? And the discourse has been laughable between Eddie Howe and how they've used local journalists. It's a fucking disaster. Stevie Wonder can see through it, what's going on. It's complete theatre. And they're hoodwinking their fans completely. And you know what? For every mad fucker there is, Geordie, there is, and whatever Elon Musk does with algorithms, I'd swear I was living in the northeast of England because it's just Newcastle fans all over me Twitter at the moment. But the rational ones are even going, why would he stay? Like, we tried to buy a fella for a goalkeeper for his release clause and we couldn't get him out. And we took so long doing it that Man City actually turned around and go, we'll just take him out. Joe Pedro, they tried to pay him off and Chelsea actually didn't. He couldn't get him. They're proven to be an absolute fucking shit show. They've no director of football. Eddie Howe was a serious health scare at the end of last season. He was missing for weeks.
And
now,
seems to be upset by all of this, and I don't
and
think
he
as
is.
upset
And
as being angled at
what?
Alexander Isak.
Do you know what? I don't actually think Eddie Howe gets enough praise, because I genuinely, I think he's a
Well, putting
brilliant
up with that
coach.
Tyndall fella, I think he deserves all the
Yeah,
praise in the
I
world.
think if Eddie Howe wasn't English, I think his perception would be a lot. If Eddie Howe was a Spanish manager who came from Bilbao after building a great team there, everyone would be going, this fella's just going to fuck off to one of the big clubs if Newcastle keep doing what they're doing. I actually don't think, for me, Eddie Howe is Newcastle's biggest asset. He's their biggest asset, because I think he's a top-class coach. I genuinely do. And he has a pain in his bollocks. You can see him with it now going, this is bullshit. And all they're dealing with now is the PIF, who are just fucking pig-headed idiots sitting in a boardroom somewhere in fucking Riyadh with a load of cash and no idea and huge egos and thinking they can do whatever they want. We're going to, do you know what? He doesn't want to play for Newcastle anymore. Well, we're going to offer him 600,000 tax-free to play for Al Hilal. No, you don't get it, mate. He wants to go and play football and win proper football and win trophies. He can't be fucking hoodwinked. John Duran went there for 3 weeks or something and was like, where can I go?
John Duran went on a package holiday to Saudi Arabia, didn't he?
Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. Get me to fucking Turkey now. I need to get out of here. I'll go anywhere. Every club in Europe wanted me. I will go anywhere. Get me out of this place. I don't want to be here anymore. And they can't get their head around that. They are completely cutting their nose off here despite that face. If they had just got their ducks in a row and listened probably 6 weeks ago, Liverpool probably would have let them have Ekatike and said, you know what, we'll get someone else. But Liverpool said, you know what, we're going to take him. And when he kicks up more than a few weeks, don't say we didn't fucking tell you so, because we're going to take him as well. I feel so sorry for Eddie Howe and all of this, because to be honest with you, he's being done up like a kipper and they look like they're scrambling. And they're going to have to overpay now for Sesko. They're going to have to pay more than they would have wanted to pay for any other striker. Jan Wisse was being sold to Saudi Arabia, and he's like, no, I want to go to Newcastle. He's doing the exact same thing, but you don't hear it. You just see the big fucking man join ahead through Geordie turning around going on about a red cartel. Will you fuck off, mate? You look a fucking idiot. You're going on like a fucking clown. And loads of them are. Newcastle literally had a game of poker, stood up, pulled their cracks down, and have just spread their cheeks and go, whoever wants to go, have a go. Because Liverpool, you're going to take our best player, and we're not going to get the 150 million you want. And now I'm standing there with me flute in my hand, going to fucking Villa with 3 weeks to go before the start of the season and go, yeah, man, Ollie Watkins, I know he's over the hill, but how much do you want from him? And they're going to end up paying about 50 million for Ollie Watkins. They haven't got a goalkeeper. Botman is out again. They're chasing their man Scalvini the last 6 weeks. They've had a fucking nightmare of a window. An absolute nightmare. Take Isak out of it. Red cartel, blue cartel, big bollocksology cartel. You've had a fucking mare. You've had an absolute mare. I have no sympathy for them at all. Genuinely, I don't. And fair play to Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe just turned around and said, what the fuck is going on here? He said it in the press conference. What the fuck is going on here? No, he's not coming on the tour. Eddie Howe should just come out tomorrow and go, listen, let him go, will you? Stop backing the bollocks and let's get on with this here. It's just, it's been an absolute shite show. It's a shite show. And this is for everyone. Everyone 6 months ago when Ornstein, or 12 months ago when Ornstein was going, Saudi Arabia want to buy Liverpool. Do they? Yeah. Honest to God. You're fucking off your head if you ever wanted them near Liverpool. Because they haven't got a fucking clue what they're doing. Honest to God.
It's interesting because, like, I'm with you. I do feel a bit of sympathy for Eddie Howe, because I feel like he's trying to be a public face on this for Newcastle, but I think he's probably round with a lot of people in the background while still trying to, a bit like when you're round with a player and you go, no, he's a slight injury, and you're like punching the head off him after training, the sort of way, because you don't want to be that fella that kind of breaks the fucking thing at the club where, look, we're all in this together sort of thing. But I'd say he's fuming over it. But it simply goes back for me to people thinking they're playing by a certain set of rules and should be allowed to do something when they're not. Do you know what I mean? And this sort of, well, they only have more money than us because we're not allowed to spend their money. But your money is immaterial. because of the rules you've voted for. That's simply what it is. And it's not like, I'd understand if Liverpool come in and went, we've new owners and they're putting 500 million quid in, and people going, fuck that. Hold on, we had this 2 years ago and we went out there, but it's not. Like, what way do you want it? Liverpool spent £12 million last summer, right? They actually made profit on their transfers last summer because they sold a couple of players, and everyone laughed at them. Liverpool have no pull. Liverpool can't sign anybody. FSG don't do this. Slot doesn't do that. Richard Hughes is a problem. Michael Edwards. What's Billy Hogan doing? Where's Tom Werner? We're clearly just still paying off the fucking Anfield Road end, so we don't have money. And everyone laughed at us and mocked us and went, Liverpool, ha ha ha. Right? Liverpool go and win the title and people go, fuck, right, okay. And then Liverpool go, we spent nothing in the last year, lads. So what we're going to do is we're going to lump everything from last year on top with this year, plus winning a title and a new deal with Adidas and more match day revenue and bonuses, and we're going to lump it all on it this summer. And what we're going to do is we're going to buy the best quality we can at the ages we're at them at, buying them at, and we're going to plan ourselves into the next 5 years. Forget 2 years in Salah and Van Dijk. That's out the window now. Liverpool are planning for 5 years, and next year will come around and Liverpool will go, we might tweak that, and people go, look, Liverpool not spending money, they're fucked. And that's because the day and age we live in is, as soon as you don't fucking do something, or as soon as you don't spend a load of money, it's like, they're all on top of you and they want to fucking tell you your shit. And Liverpool went completely against that arc last season and won what they wanted to win. Well, won one of the things they wanted to win, and it was a big one to win. And now it's like, well, last season you were this, and this season you're doing the exact opposite, and we're not happy with either of them. So what are Liverpool meant to do? Are Liverpool meant to now go to next summer and go, we've won a league and a Champions League, and we're going to go, listen, we upset a lot of people last summer, so I'll tell you what we're going to do. Put all our money over there, right? And we'll just spend 100, because then it looks like we have pull, and these idiots over here will be shut up, and these fuckers that are upset at us spending all the money, they won't give out either, and everyone's happy. No. Kill or be fucking killed. And Liverpool have planned themselves into this. And don't get me wrong, they took a massive risk in Arne Slot, right? And winning the league. But Liverpool made an extra 150 million quid out of winning the league last year. So why aren't we entitled to spend it? Under the rules, we are spending exactly what we earn, as we always have. And last summer, vast majority of people were upset. We didn't do enough. Did we do enough to back Arne Slot? He kept telling us it was grand. And we thought he was a liar, because managers are lawyers. And then he proved everyone wrong. Everyone wrong. There's not one person on this planet he didn't prove wrong, right? He proved everyone wrong. And now he's gone, now, by the way, I've done that now. See all the money I saved you? Right, give me it. And I'm going to go bang, bang, bang. I'm going to make this team better. Matt, Alexander Isak, putting him into this squad.
Give it to me.
Yes. What does it say to the rest of the league where Liverpool go, Wirtz is a fucking ridiculous footballer to watch. Just in the clips I'm watching of him. But then you're signing Ekitike, who you could put into the project, he's kind of end of it, but he has experience in the Bundesliga. And then you throw Isak at it, who best striker in the league last season, best central striker in the league last season. There's an argument they have. Where do you want to go with it? I don't know. Like it's a little bit mind blowing.
I mean, the biggest single most obvious room for improvement in Liverpool the last 2-3 seasons since Firmino left has been, we don't get enough goals out of our number 9. We don't get enough goals out of our number 9. And we've got, especially as Mo Salah, every year he seems to get that 5% more of an elite level playmaker. For every little bit that he loses in his goal scoring, his passing and his vision just goes up another level and up another level. And like, you're over the moon to sign a player like Florian Wirtz, because you start imagining, okay, how is he going to link up with all these players? And then as the window keeps going on, and when the Isak stuff first came out and it gets bandied around, I'm like, yeah, of course that would be great. Nobody's going to be upset over signing Alexander Isak. He is a world-class striker. He's at the moment where he's about to really take off in his career, if that's where his career is going to go. If you add him into this team, it's going to be something else. I mean, I thank the guy for joining us. The post-match show we did yesterday after the Milan preseason game, there was a Newcastle fan in there that was hilarious, because he said, even if we sign Isak, he's not going to score as many goals because he's not going to have Jacob Murphy and Bruno and Tonali there to put the ball on a plate for him. And it's like, Salah led the league in assists. Like, we've got so much creativity coming out of this team that's why I'm happy if the only striker we get in is Hugo Ekitike, because I think Hugo Ekitike could score 20 goals next year. I think that guy can just stand in the right position and that ball will be put on a plate for him. And as long as you don't miss fucking glaring chances like Darwin Núñez had a propensity to do, you're going to score 15 goals as a striker for this Liverpool team. You play 30 goals for this team as a central striker and you know how to hit the ball roughly there. You know, a 90-degree spray that you can put it from 6 yards away and you're going to put the ball on net. You're scoring 15 goals a year. And Alexander Isak, having watched him play last year and been highly impressed by him, like really enjoyed watching him play last year for Newcastle. Newcastle had a really fun team to watch as a neutral. You know, I have no skin in the game watching Newcastle last season. You watch Alexander Isak and you're like, that is a serious player. That is a serious player. And it's hard to even wrap my head around because the worry I have with signing Alexander Isak is that I myself, I cannot speak for anybody else, am forgetting that we signed Florian Wirtz. And that was my favorite thing about watching that game yesterday was this guy's fucking deadly. It's getting lost. The fact that we signed the best young player in the world is kind of getting lost by the fact that we just keep going again and again and again and adding more and more players and getting better and better as a team. The two of them playing together, it's salivating, Gav. It's a good time to be a post-match content creator because we are going to be talking about these new signings and lauding this summer again and again and again. And having been through it where you didn't sign anybody, you know, you win the Champions League and all you do is you add Harvey Elliott. You know, you win the league and you don't add enough. We didn't do anything last summer and you just catch fucking pelters for it. I'm like, all right, well, now you got what you wanted. We're playing Football Manager now. We're just going to sign everybody and let's see what happens. It is happy days. I'm not going to be the only Liverpool fan this year that's going to predict us to win the fucking league. I can tell you that much right now.
I would say that you'd want to have some sort of balls on you as a pundit on the BBC to put Liverpool outside the top 3 next season. That's all I'm going to say to you. Shawnee, we're talking there and we're talking Isak and we're talking goals and we're talking, you know, in the central area, did we get enough goals? And my big thing on the central area is players suiting what we're doing, because I don't think the central area gets masses of chances. But when they do get chances, they need to take them. The one thing about Alexander Isak that I know me and you have spoken about and others have spoken about in WhatsApp groups, etc., is his effect on a game to link play and see players and pick passes is probably goes under the radar a little bit. His movement is unbelievable. But he's not one of those where he's great movement and he's off the back here and forget about it. He drops into position, Sean. He drops off. He gets his wingers involved. He gets midfielders involved. He has vision in his game. That's the one thing that I'm going to be watching for. Look, I want him to score loads of goals, but the way he links play, I think Shawnee is huge, and I think that's where they're going for. I think he has that extra bit in him where he can play off. He can nearly drop into a 10 position at times, but he just has so much going for him when you try to put him into this Liverpool team.
Yeah, look, I think he's the archetypal 9 that we needed. He just has absolutely everything to his game. He's a fucking nightmare as well. He's a pest. He's strong as an ox. He's seeing bullying defence, seeing him bullying. He roasted Van Dijk last year more than once at St James's Park and at Wembley. I never took more enjoyment than watching that first leg at the Emirates against Arsenal in the semi-final, where, for want of a better term, he wore the 2 boys like condoms. That's the only way I can put it. He was going around the Emirates, honestly, wearing Gabriel like a school bag and then just ragdolling the other fellas to leave it. He's an incredible footballer. He's I watched him. He has every type of finish. His link play is brilliant. He has pace. He can come short. He can go in behind. He's just mercurial. Like he's. It's hard to believe that if you had said to someone 3 months ago, Liverpool are going to sign Wirtz and Ekitike, you probably would have checked them in. To be truthful, you would have said, yeah, you're smoking serious spice. To be honest with you, if you think that's going to happen, give us a drag off, because I'd love a go with that reality. Like Matt made a point earlier, and it's, look, I don't you can't really argue it. The best right back, the best left back, the best number 10, the best number 9 on the market, and they're going for them. And like, would you put it past Liverpool tomorrow if it come out in the news that Valverde was surplus to requirements at Real Madrid for whatever reason, right? No, but look, put it this way, right? I'm being hypothetical, and I'm showing you that it's actually the sphere that we're operating in, and how we're so guilty as football fans, like, at looking at everything in microcosms and like just one window. If you look at the whole bigger picture, we've been trying to do this for the last 5
The
years.
age profile is huge on them all.
We've been trying to do it for the last 5 years. We wanted Mbappe, and people laughed at us. They're not fucking signing Mbappe, and we wanted Bellingham, and it was like the worst kept secret that we were going to get Bellingham, and then we end up outside your Champions League, and it's probably just not doable. And we need a new midfield, and they're just like, no, look, listen, let's use our heads here and buy a new midfield instead of buying this fella. And we got laughed at, and then we tried to get Caicedo, and then we got laughed at. But this is the other side of the coin now for all the fuckers who are laughing, going, Liverpool have now Poland. They weren't really spending that money, and that's just PR, just trying to make it look like they've loads of money and they're going to spend it. It's fucking awful PR, by the way. So if you're in PR or you're working in PR, fucking hell, your boss is going to have a look at you because you have a complete misunderstanding of how public relations work and perception. We've been trying to do this for the longest time. And now it's just coming to fruition. An opportunistic standpoint has provided so much opportunity for us now to buy the best players in the world in the position. And we have money to buy them, and we have a manager with enough charisma and know-how to kind of go, you sit down and talk to me, and I'm going to sell you my idea of what I need you to do on a football team. And that's what we've heard with every single one of these players. You heard Kirkes the other day turning around and going, fucking hell, I didn't realise that I actually need to be on my game every single training session here because the level is so high, and that's what shocked me, and I absolutely love it. I don't know whether any of you have seen that interview where he basically said, you have to be on it from day one here. And that's basically just coming in and saying, if you're not on your game, like, Ekatike, you're coming to play for Liverpool, mate, but you know Isak's coming in a few weeks as well, so you better be on it. And Virgil turned around and said, yeah, your hard work starts now, and if you want to play for Liverpool, you better be the best player in the world. And like you said, Gav, we're no longer going now, Jesus, only 2 more years left of Virgil and Mo. You're going to be going, Virgil, if you're not on it this year, we're probably going to buy the next best fella in the world next summer, and you're probably going to have to kind of just ride off into the sunset now. I know that Virgil van Dijk's not going to let that happen because he's Virgil van Dijk. Liverpool being one of the biggest football clubs in the world, outside of what we think, just being totally rational, acting like one of the biggest football clubs in the world. And it's not reliant on a fucking demigod, once in a generation manager like Klopp to swindle these players with his ideology and his way of talking. You just basically have a world-class coach who's turning around to these world-class players and go, you come and play for us, and I'm going to make you the best in the world in your position, and you'll actually be looking at winning Ballon d'Ors. Because you know for a fact that's what he's told Florian Wirtz. You come here and you're going to be one of the best players. You're going to be looking at winning Ballon d'Ors. Isak, the Carabao Cup was nice last year, wasn't it? Why don't you come here and be the fella who, when Mo Salah fucks off, it's all on you, and you have the big set of bollocks to board in that way, and because you're going to be one of the best strikers in the world, and you're here doing it, playing for us. We're doing what United done in the 1990s and the early 00s. It's as simple as that. That's basically what we're doing. We're going to look every year. Who's the best left back in the league? Kirkes. We'll have him. Who's the best striker in the league? Isak. We'll have him. Next year, Brighton. Oh yeah, man, Balaba's ripping it up, is he? Yeah. Well, we need cover for Gravenberch. So you come in there and sit your hole on the bench, kid, and when you're ready to play a few games, you'll play, and you'll take your fucking medals and shut up. And that's exactly what we're doing. And you can't ask for more than that. We've been on shows for years saying, oh, are we one short and do we lack a little bit of ambition? That has been totally eradicated in this window because they've just basically said, There, Billy Hogan come out saying, we're going to fucking act like it. We're going to do it. If there's business there to be done. And like you said, Gav, all without a fucking bead of sweat trickling down faces. It's just like, boom, boom, boom. boom, Ekitike. Oh, what? He's in the door. He's only rocking up for training, but hold on, we're still trying to sign Isak. Hold on, we signed your man Florian Wirtz as well. It's fucking crazy what's going on this window. It's absolutely crazy.
It's crazy.
It's as big a window. I remember when Madrid done Benzema, Kaká, Ronaldo in one window, which was fucking mental when you think about it. They done that in one window. It was mad. They had them all on the stage in the space for a week. But that's Real Madrid. This is similar. This is similar level. This is a similar level window where we've basically, and if I'm being, if I err on the side of caution and I be a little bit pessimistic, it scares me a little bit because I think we're verging on the border of this is a lot of change. Like, I put that Hans Malman meme up on Twitter there of when he's in the phone box saying, I need you to come. Oh no, not that many. Like, you know what I mean? FSG, I need you to spend money. No, that's too much. Like, they've gone gangbusters this summer. Like, I'd say all them boys, McAllister and all, who's probably thinking, I could go to Madrid in a few years, or Kanate going, hold on, what the fuck? I'm not leaving here. Yeah. These are putting all the best players in the world, and you want to give me a load of money to stay here? Of course I'm going to fucking stay here. Yeah.
It is crazy. Magic. It's magic. It is crazy, but it's so measured at the same time that's the killer and that's the kicker in all of it, because it's not. You see teams, and Chelsea is an example, like just stockpiling players and going, if these need to constantly move players on and churn players and to keep it in a certain limit, and if they don't happen to do it, they're in serious fucking bother. Where Liverpool just are doing it and everyone's going, surely they're spending too much. I'm like, no, and fellas coming out going, they don't need to sell Elliott and they don't need to sell Nunez if they don't want to. No, they will, but they don't need to. And this is what I'm talking about. It's so easy. But Matt, Shawnee said something right there, and he said, we've spent so many years looking, going, did he leave us a bit short? Did he leave us a bit that? And that brings me on to centre back, right? Because I think we're all flying high on this.
The old elephant in the room,
yeah. We're all flying high on the full backs and the verts and the strikers and whatever else. The centre back one feels like, right, don't do all this amazing work and then go, lads, we've 3 centre halves. Do you know what I mean?
Because they can't do it, Gab. They can't.
Well, you have Van Dijk.
Get everything this right and get that wrong. They just can't.
You have Van Dijk, you have Kanate, and now for someone that was leaving for Madrid last week, and now it seems it's gone 180 now, and it's like he's going to sign a new deal, and they're getting closer to that deal and stuff like that. And then you've Joe Gomez, who had to leave the camp and go back to the AXA due to a minor, the word's got in my head, Achilles. A minor Achilles issue that he felt it would be better if he went back and got treated there. Now, we're about 17, 18 days away from the season starting, I think, if my maths is right. And I'm not happy with Liverpool sitting here with Van Dijk and Kanate, and Joe Gomez sitting in the AXA with a slight Achilles issue. We have to get something done here, Matt. And if, Guehi seemed to be all over Guehi up until, what happened to Diogo Jota and everything went quiet, understandably. But there's an argument now that you kind of go, lads, how many times are we going to do this? How many times are we getting to the start of the season and Gomez has a slight issue? Do you know what I mean? We have to do one, Matt. And there's an argument there that you have to do 2, and you have to take the hit and go, we're going in with 5. And that's it.
Yeah, well, when one is so hard to rely upon, and it's terrible. I mean, the longest serving player at the team, but not even close to leading in the number of appearances, tells you all you need to know about Joe Gomez's injury record. Like, he's got 4 or 5 years pretty much on anybody else in that team in terms of how long he's been at Liverpool. And he's not even close to being, catching up with Jamie Carragher type numbers for appearances. It's going to happen. I think, like, if Palace is playing fucking a little bit of hardball because of their now needing to change their budgeting forecast for next year with all the fucking UEFA shenanigans going on with their ranking because of John Textor and whatnot, just go to Brighton Ashley is a big fan of this. Just go get Jan Paul Van Hecke. Just Brighton is a selling club, and just move on to the next one down the line. I think Mark Guehi would be a great signing, but I'm not going to be upset at all. And you said there get two. If there has to be two, I would like those to be the two. If we've got Mark Guehi wrapped up and we're just being professional, courteous with Crystal Palace, both for the Diogo Jota stuff where we might have had to put the brakes on that and go, listen, even though we're ready to sign final contracts here, we're going to put this on the back burner for obvious reasons. We'll address it later. And Crystal Palace was cool with that. We're letting them get their ducks in a row and get replacements, which is, I think, what's happening right now with Newcastle, where it's being a little muted on Liverpool's side for Isak to allow them to get their bids in for Sesko and for Johan Wisson and try to do that. Maintain good business relationships. Just go get them both. But they have to get. I can't wait. I can't wait for the show if we don't sign a center half and the transfer window closes. That will be brilliant to watch because people will have to, at the same time, be furious with FSG for completely ruining it and dropping the ball again, but also having to be like, but you did buy us like £350 million worth of incredible attacking talent. So there's no way it's going to happen. It's got to, like, you want to see it done sooner rather than later, and it would have been better if we had that center half. If we'd assigned Mark Guehi on the 12th of June, everything's rosy in the garden, but we haven't. And they're going to. They're going to. Just everybody calm down and relax. There's no way they're that fucking stupid.
Yeah. Gavin Walsh says, I firmly believe Guehi's issue is down to Palace's Conference Trophy issues and not Liverpool's. And John O says Guehi hasn't been linked to any other club, so that tells me he wants to sign for Liverpool. Shawnee, I'm a little bit on that page, to be honest with you. I think Palace with the Europa League and now dropping to the Conference League, and I understand Palace don't want to sell at a certain price, and Liverpool probably trying to strong arm them a little bit and saying, listen, he's a year left, we'll give you 35 to 40, and they're saying 50. And let's be honest, Liverpool have just done that to Bayern Munich, where they've gone, listen, we're not taking 55, we'll take 80, and we've settled on 65 or 70. It works both ways. We can't sit here and go, oh, just give it to us for 40. No, it's not how it works, and Palace will be pointing that out to Liverpool. I would say I'm still confident on Guehi signing, and I think if we sign Guehi, I think Isak and Guehi, and that's it. That's where I am on it. Where are you?
I'd be delighted with Guehi. I think he's brilliant. I think he's a good player, and I agree with you. Again, if you just read between the lines of what's being put out with Guehi, while linked, and then it looks as if, he might be too expensive. Oh, the player said he's going to sit around for a year and leave for free. All right, Palace.
I don't think it's when we go to next year.
Yeah, I think it would be on a free, definitely. But I don't think it gets that far because I think it's just him going, look, listen, I'm gonna go for free next year, so take what you're given, sort of thing. And it already looks like they've loosened that stance a little bit. Now, I thought we probably would have gotten from anywhere from 30 to 35, but I think it might be 40 to 45 we end up paying in the end, or close there, or who knows what way they frame it. But it looks like he is definitely the one. They're not moving on the Hatter one when Chelsea literally have everything more or less wrapped up there for a reasonable amount. So it's not like they're going to do the Luis Diaz Spurs kind of thing where they go, oh, that's how much you're paying for him. Well, we'll pay that as well. So if you fancy playing for us, we could do that deal as well. So obviously that's not one they fancy. Van Hecke is a great shot. I think he's brilliant. I think he's a good player. I wouldn't be against that either. But as much as I love Joe Gomez, he can't be relied upon. He's not capable of playing 2 games in a week, and I think we got away with it massively last year with Kanate. I think Kanate's availability last year is probably the biggest standout. I think
the only way he wasn't available was when that little fella off Real Madrid landed on him in the very last second of that game.
Yeah, and I think he struggled a little bit after he came back, to be honest. So yeah, it's hard to be kind of critical of recruitment when the window's not closed yet, but they've done everything they pretty much could in the attacking sense, but they have to get it right defensively, because Van Dijk's another year older, and I think we're going to be challenging on all fronts. And it was great last year when we had a Kwanzaa kind of there, and we didn't need him, but he was there. But we don't. There's no real alternative out of the academy, because I don't know about your man Nallo. Whenever I've seen him, he's not impressed me. I'm not gonna lie, he hasn't. And it's probably
I don't think he's young. Down that route.
He's young, and I wouldn't trust him. If I seen Nallo on a bench, I'd probably be panicking if he had.
Yeah, but you see, I don't think you're getting rid of Kwanzaa at the tournament. Go, you know what we did? We'll put Nallo.
Yeah. But no, even again, a minor Achilles injury. I've never heard of it. I don't think they exist, because the Achilles is one of them things where it's either there or it isn't. You know what I mean? Like, you don't strain your Achilles, you tear it, and that's it. Like, nobody's ever out with a strained Achilles. It just doesn't. And I'm not a doctor, and I can tell you that. That's the truth. So, but as much as I love Gomez, we shouldn't be hanging our hat on him. I don't think other clubs would hang their hat on them. So, yeah, I'd feel way more comfortable Liverpool did 2 centre-backs, but I think it's more likely Liverpool buy Isak, Guehi and Fofana than it is they do Isak, Guehi and another centre-back. And
Fofana, is this the lad linked to Everton yesterday?
Yeah, he's signing for Liverpool. I think he's going to sign for Liverpool, to be honest.
Do you?
Because he's had 3 clubs have agreed deals for him, and he hasn't gone anywhere. Right. Forest, Everton, and Spurs.
Right.
And the talk is it's another Premier League club in England who want to sign him. And surprise, surprise.
Oh, he's rejected Everton, apparently.
I think that Fofana thing, I think that was a reverse Robinho. I think Everton got a hold of his agent, and he's like, yeah, he's very excited about coming and playing in the city next year. And the Everton guys were like, yes, we got him. He's like, no.
Yeah.
No, I'm playing at Anfield.
And then the fucking the letterhead came over and were like, what's all the blue all over this letterhead? Like, why did he send the letterhead in blue?
They just threw it in the garbage. Like, what the fuck is this?
fucking A-ringing as well.
What I will say is, do you know what? Seeing as it's been a fucking brilliant summer and we're all in great form, in the football front, what I will say is, Guehi's injury record is brilliant, and he's both-footed. So,
I think Liverpool have to just take their medicine here, and if you want them, pay the money for them.
Yeah, and they will, because I think they will. And there's not exactly a fucking dearth of fucking centre backs out there that kind of suit what we want to do, unless you're buying from Serie A. And I don't like Italians. They don't travel well. They always end up missing their mass tits after 6 weeks and wanting to go home. It's not for me. They
Careful,
just,
Sean. Gab is
24-year-old Italian man longs for his mass tits after 6 months in England.
After 3 weeks eating fucking bangers and mash in England, can't take it. And I don't blame him, because Italy's a bleeding great country. And to be honest with you, if I'd loads of money, it's probably where I'd live as well. So if I had a choice, I'd probably stay there myself. Yeah. But they don't travel well, famously, the Italians. Yeah, someone is probably going to call me xenophobic now, but you can if you want, because they probably just say that. You know the war we live in. I love Italians. Triabocelli is fucking great bit of stuff. Yeah. But I just do Guehi and let me sleep in peace. Don't fucking dangle me along now and just say, no, we're going to go with them 3 lads and if Virgil goes down, my bollocks. I don't want that case, because it's not fair on anyone. It's not fair on the lads who are already there.
Here's a left fielder for you, boys. They don't sign another center half. They sign another defensive midfielder and just fucking platoon it with Gravenberch. Because I think he can play there. I think Gravenberch can play there, no problem. The issue is that we don't really have a ready-made replacement to take Gravenberch's spot.
I think the way Liverpool are going to play next season, I think it's absolutely so important that your centre halves are rock solid centre backs. I genuinely, and I think the 2 midfield have to be the same, because You know, I watched that Milan game yesterday, and I didn't read anything into it, but people were like, "Oh, transition." And I was like, "Lads, they trained in the morning and then played that game. Chill out." But teams are going to look to break on Liverpool, in a massive, massive way next season, and that block of that square of 4 people, 2 centre backs and 2 midfield, I think are going to be used, because that's what I think you're going to end up with. Look, we'll see what happens in the centre half stuff, and as we're going through the week, look, we're going to be doing shows on YouTube and on our Patreon, and we will definitely be talking centre backs and stuff like that. And before I forget, lads, I want to ask you about 2 things before we go, and it's a bit of crack before we go. But before we do, if you want to subscribe, please do. If you want to join our Patreon, the link is in the description. It's patreon.com/Talkin Kop, and we've loads of stuff going on there. And when the season starts, it just goes bananas with shows, like fucking madness. What's going on there? But listen, you're not going to believe this, right? NordVPN have asked us to do more stuff with them, right? I don't know how the fuck it happened, right? Because Alan Lawson literally tried to close us down there a couple of weeks ago. But listen, I'm going to do all the heavy work because I used it during the week, lads, right? But anyway, the link is in the description for NordVPN. If you're looking to stream, if you're looking for security on the internet, if you're looking for multiple devices to do that on, that's the way to go. You can sign up for 2-year deals. It's costing you about £100 for the 2 years. You're getting 4 months free. And look, people go, what is a VPN? Yeah, well, look, what it's great for, right? First of all, multiple devices and stuff like that. You can use it for security, obviously, and then you can use it to be in different countries to stream events or sporting events or whatever it might be that isn't available in your country. That's a real plus for it. I used it during the week. I was away for a couple of days. I needed the laptop. We were in a hotel, the family, and we had the NordVPN. We had it on multiple devices, and we didn't have to worry about this fucking signing up and giving all your details away just to get a bit of Wi-Fi in a hotel. So it was fantastic. The link is in the description if you want to use it. It's a special link, and if you are going to sign up for NordVPN, please do it through that link, because it helps us, it helps the channel, etc., etc. But I could have asked the lads how to use it, and if they could use it and they mightn't use it, I have used it this week. I have used it for work. I've used it for the family. I've used it on multiple devices for streaming, sporting events, etc., etc. So it was really, really good. Gary Mack used it in Liverpool. He said, I used it in Liverpool. There you go. It's really good value if you're interested in VPN and streaming services around the world.
I might even get us all locked up saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Right.
Do you know what it's great for? It's great for pretending.
Thanks for warning.
It's great for pretending you're in Spain and you don't have a dodgy box, and you can go onto the Zone and watch every Premier League game for £25 a month, even the 3 o'clocks.
We're definitely getting locked up. I don't think we're allowed to mention channels or specific streaming services.
Redact all of that. And
he didn't even mean it. We're sorry.
Do you know what? It wasn't even me. That was AI. AI is mad, isn't it? You can make it do anything these days. Yeah.
Come here. But anyway, that's NordVPN. The link is in the description for that. Join our Patreon. Try it for a month. It costs you $4 or $5. Try it for a month. If you like it, great. If you don't, cancel it. No problem at all. But we've done our best over the summer. It's been a broken up summer for different reasons. But we are bringing more and more shows there. And when the season starts, you're going to be getting reaction extra shows, video clips. We're going to start doing player profiles at the minute. And they are with the Patreon. And that helps us as well. 2 things before I go. Seany, I'll start with you. The lad off Nottingham Forest that wanted to go to Spurs, and then the owner said, you're not going, sign a new deal, and I'm going to stand beside you while you do your interview. Morgan Gibbs White. That was bananas.
Yeah.
It was fucking mad.
You can just tell that your man Maranakis has 100% paid money to have people killed before.
I don't think allegedly. You can't say that, Seany.
Yeah, I can. I just did.
Okay,
he
AI.
definitely did that. But allegedly, AI, ChatGPT at it again. But you can tell he's definitely has nefarious.
How awkward was that? Like, how awkward was it, Seany?
Honestly, Jesus Christ, Gav. I could nearly take us all the way down to Cancelville here, but I won't. But it was bad. It was like, what's going on behind the scenes here?
Dylan says it was a scene from The Office. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, just fucking. It was bizarre. It was like Trump standing beside your man from the national build, and he's saying, "Yeah, you're not taking into account that building. Yeah, that was built 5 years ago." yeah, but it cost $1 billion. And he was like, yeah, but no, that was built 5 years ago. And then Trump, like Ron Burgundy, takes a piece of paper out of his sleeve with all the documentation on it. Yeah, man is just standing beside him, and he's out of shot, right? He's out. Like if you haven't watched the interview yet, he's out of shot. Marinakis is out of shot, and then Morgan Gibbs says something, right? And then it pans to Marinakis' face, and he's just like nodding, like
it was so fucking good.
And I think he says Mr. Marinakis like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah,
and I'm just thinking, so bad every time.
I'm just thinking, this poor fucker probably thought he was either going to Man City or Spurs, and now he's standing in the middle of the pitch at gunpoint, being told, "Well, it's the best thing ever that you have to spend."
It was so good because
you have to spend another 3 years at Nottingham Forest. It's
when it panned to your man, right? All I could see on his face was him going, "Yeah, go on. You don't now listen. Make sure you remember all the keywords." And he's just nodding along there. And do you know it was like? It goes back to Gibbs White, and he's talking, and you can see him looking at your man, going, "Am I doing all right here?" It was fucking brilliant.
It's like Anchorman. I'm Morgan Gibbs White. who put the question mark on the end on the script?
I picture that going down with Chris Wood standing beside the camera with the cue cards, and every time it says Mr. Marinakis, it's its own cue card in huge letters, Mr. Marinakis. Please let my wife go, Mr. Marinakis. Please let my children go, Mr. Marinakis.
Yeah, it's one of the best thing ever.
He's a lunatic,
I'm actually going to go on.
I'm happy we have him. He's crazy.
It was fucking Marinakis was mounting the words before they came out of Gibbs White's mouth. Says Dylan O'Rourke. It was like, honestly, I think it was actually in our Telegram group said to us, "Has anybody seen the mad Morgan Gibbs White video?" And I was like, "No, but I that's something I might want to see." And she sent me the link, and I was like genuinely going, "This has to be made up. Like, this has to be made up." It was so fucking good.
Forest are becoming great value in the Premier League because they're ratting on everyone for everything. Like, you basically turned around to your wife and said, "Here, have a look at them boys over there. Alice, there's something going on there."
Yeah,
we're gonna buy a lot of players off Botafogo as well to help Texter out. Like, so, like, it's like if they were doing a Drive to Survive style series on the Premier League, Marinakis would be Gunter, the fella who runs Haas, who everyone just thinks this fella's a fucking lunatic.
If they have any sense about, if they've any sense about,
they are missing the boat heavy with not having something like that, because
correct.
I need a fly on the wall documentary.
Yeah. I'm watching Marinakis every day of the week.
Yeah, I'm literally watching. And I haven't watched with the
any of them,
and him just ordering hits on different.
No, stop saying stuff like that. I don't think you can say ordering hits.
I can, because he's not going to watch this, because he's probably doing it as we speak. But like, just ringing around.
I haven't watched any of them. You know, being Sunderland or being Spurs or whatever the fuck they were called. I haven't watched any of them. There was an Arsenal one, I think a Spurs one, and a Sunderland one. But if you told me there was a Forest one tomorrow, I am 100% like midnight. You know, I mean NordVPN if I need to, and I'm making sure I watch it because he is unbelievable value. Didn't he try punch the head off the manager at the end of the season after he got European football?
Like I could just.
And then he had Clattenburg going around giving out fuck. He's great.
He comes in for Harvey Elliott and pays like 30 million or something, right? Just say, and then he's like, "No, it doesn't happen." And then you can just imagine him getting on the blower straight away, going, "Come here, listen. Remember you told me you seen Richard Hughes cheating on his wife in Bournemouth Pier about 6 years ago? Yeah, send me them photos. I need them. You won't sell me a player." Like, he just strikes me as that type of absolute mental case slime ball.
Yeah, he's fucking mad. He is absolutely mad. But I tell you what else is mad.
He sprinted down from the director's box after that one game. Or I mean, sprinted to pitch side to fucking scream at the referee, and it's like, who the hell is this huge guy?
Yeah, but then he had to go. He had to go off the manager. He had to go off the manager after they got European football. I think they drew, which meant he couldn't make the Champions League, but he guaranteed Europa League football. And he came down and had to go off Espirito Santo. And then remember he had that little period where he had Clattenburg out in the press every week going, "This is a fucking disgrace." Yeah, it was fucking great. It was fucking great. But I tell you what else is mad, lads, and Matt, I'll come to you first. We better finish. We're fucking way too long on here now. But I'll tell you what else is mad. I seen a video the other day of It was a video of for Gyökeres signing for Arsenal, but I think it's an Arsenal fan, and he has a mask, like a Bayern mask on.
No.
It's one of the strangest things I've seen in a long
Starts with
time.
a Batman mask on, Gav.
Yeah,
as somebody that enjoys those Batman movies, this guy has never seen those fucking Batman movies, because in his Batman story, he's Batman, and he quits being Batman to be Bane because Victor Gyökeres does this to celebrate. This guy's never seen fucking Batman. All this guy knows is that Gyökeres has a celebration. That celebration is based off of Batman. I'm Batman, and he has way too much money because it's very well shot. For something that's just up on somebody's social media and stuff like that, it's actually quite well done. You know, like somebody third-year film school student level, I would say that is. But it just misses the mark so much. He literally says at one point, the narrator, that he's there to burn down the Emirates. And it's like, well, that's not good. He's the bad guy. He's the fucking bad guy. He tries to blow up the city. He's a terrorist. And you're like, this is our new striker. Like, yeah. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. But, you know, kudos for the effort.
Do you know what? I'm just caveat all, but
apparently it's Cecil from AFTV. I don't know who Cecil is.
Yeah, they made a dance video for fucking Thomas Party, boys. Where else do you want me to go with this? Honestly, God.
I don't really want you to go anywhere, Sean.
Yeah. Can we go back to talking about ordering hits on people? That's less.
Yeah, no, well, I'm just telling you that's what we're dealing with. And by the way, I'm going to take great pleasure in this fella being an absolute stocking.
Do you think he's going to be a stocking?
Yeah, he's a flat track bully in the championship. Oh, he scored loads of goals for Sweden. Yeah, playing fucking Azerbaijan and Albania. Will you fuck off? 27 years of age. Get off the stage.
Why are they doing music videos? Because like I seen Arsenal putting out a thing. You know, Victor
you know what, Gav,
is here,
Arsenal,
and it's like narrated by some rapper or something, I think.
Oh, look. Michael Ward was an Arsenal fan as well. Google him, right? Just Google him. Michael Ward, Arsenal. Just Google Michael Ward. Big actor out, top boy. Huge Arsenal fan. Just Google.
Uh-oh. I don't know this show, but even I know that story. Uh-oh.
Oh, fuck's sake, lads. What are we doing here?
No, but I didn't say it, but I'm just telling you, there's a common theme here. There's a common theme here, and I'm telling you now.
We're in so much trouble.
As a frequent
NordVPN.
As a frequent frequenter of the internet,
right?
They are the weirdest shower of cunts.
I just seen someone narrating the video instead of going, "Here's the player, nice action shots of him in the jersey or wherever it might be." It was like, it's like they're only short of fucking bringing a poet on, you know, writing poems about them. Do you know what I mean? But that's where they are. And then when I seen this one about the fella with the fucking mask on and the whole Batman thing, I was like, is that a real club? But it wasn't. It wasn't an official club thing.
If Paul McCartney doesn't announce Isak in the Adidas tracksuit, then I don't want to sign him. That's the way we're going now. If Paul McCartney use AI and get the four boys down there somewhere, to get the Beatles back. It's gone too. Like, how far is too far? Like, Liverpool doing the little meme things and all is grand. Fucking Stormzy sang, made it rap for Pogba to come back, and I thought, like, this is getting a bit stupid now, to be honest with you. What happened to sticking a fella in a kit, doing a few volleys, and saying, I can't wait to play? But the fucking absolute rubbish that coming out with now. But you know what? Rage bait pays these days, and I'm sure the traffic that AFTV have made of that stupid fucking video is going to make sure Robbie Lyle has a more than pleasant Christmas. Put it that way. I just find them
very weird.
You know what? We're so lucky that we have someone like Neil Atkinson and them who are the voice of Liverpool content creators when it comes to just level-headed, no bollocks, no shy, funny quips, and just generally informative content. They're not conforming to this absolute rubbish that's getting put out these days. Like, fellas running around the corner doing this, like, what in the name of Jesus is going on?
I just It blew me mind. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, what is going on here?
It blew my mind, but equal parts, I was not surprised because they are just the fucking worst. And I tell you what, another thing, this Delman kid looks very special, but he has
Haven't
to
seen
get
a
out
second
there.
of him. I'm not gonna
They
lie.
have to get him out there because honestly, I can only imagine the shit they're going to be doing for the young lad. Just leave him alone. Just stop, Arsenal fans. Just stop being so fucking weird, please. I beg you on behalf of everyone on the internet. Yeah, just
I haven't
weird
seen it. The young
being
play a
weird.
second of football, but I have seen where I've seen claims that they've unlocked a player better than Lamine Yamal.
Here we go.
Lamine Yamal,
You know what I
Messi,
mean? Here we go.
Something else. He's 15. Give the fucking kid a break. You know what I mean?
It's just stupid. It's a load of bollocks.
Anyway,
It's a load of bollocks.
we're gonna go. This I don't know how much trouble we're in. We'll find out tomorrow.
Any trouble? Let's be honest.
We'd be grand. Don't worry about it. Matt, anything else before we go?
No, I would just really like to thank the opportunity for Mr. Marinakis to extend my time here. I love everything about being on this channel. Please, Mr. Marinakis. Please, Mr. Gav. No, it's been such a fun summer. I cannot wait though for that football to get started now. Like let's get going. Like, and if you're not starting to get that build up of pressure of excitement for the new season coming up, you're missing out because we're in for a good ride, boys. We're in for a very, very good ride, I think, this year. Everything's going from fucking great to better somehow.
Well,
and it's
Red Steve says, Gav, you still listen to music? Yeah, and you know what, Red Steve, right?
You still listen to music.
You took you the wrong. You took you the
breeding there, Gav, are you?
No,
You're still
no.
breeding there.
No, right. You all thought I just listened to a song and went, oh, I know that song. That's not how it works, right? It's when you get just a second of a song as you're walking past the room, or just something in the background, and you hear and go, and bang, you can get it. But yeah, I am, and it happened the other day, and I genuinely happened the other day, and I actually thought of Red Steve. I thought that prick, because it was one of the great comments of the last while. But there you go. If anyone needs a song recognised by just a second when there's like a dishwasher on or something, and the Alexa's playing at a low volume, and you need it, get on to me. I'll look at you. Seany, anything else before we go?
Yeah, you're gonna tell people that you're in a you have an upcoming battle with Shazam about them actually taking your idea of just being able to recognise music on the fly.
Yeah.
So I don't use Shazam anymore. I just say send a voice note recording of the song to Gav and say, "May tell us what this is, will you?"
Yeah, but it's only what you need to do is you need to send it where it's only about 2 seconds, but like there's a fucking kettle boiling right beside the Alexa or something. Do you know what I mean?
There you go.
You just barely make out, and then you go, oh yeah. But it happens to me all the time. Anyway, I am still proud of my achievements in that area, and I won't be backing down. That is, Seany?
Yeah, no, that's pretty much it. Next week's gonna be mad, isn't it?
Dylan says every time I hear the chorus, I know a song. There you go. So every time he hears it, what's going to be mad?
Next week.
Next week's going to be another one mad.
You don't have to look at that shite Nike kit anymore. And
you're completely obsessed with this, by the way.
It's down me head. Do you know what? It's actually not the way you recognise songs after 2 seconds. I can't believe it's taken me 12 months to realise how shite that Nike kit is.
You're more upset with yourself than that jersey now, aren't you?
Yeah, and I only spent 100 brick on that thing about 6 weeks ago when we were over there.
Yeah.
And it's a bag of shite. And whoever's idea was to put the red and gold numbers on the jersey yesterday, for fuck's sake.
Wasn't great, was it?
Simple. But yeah, I can't wait for the Adidas gear, and I hope they drag the bollocks out of Isak next week just to throw him up in it on Friday.
Yeah.
I hope that's what happens. But
they might do.
Yeah.
They might do.
No Geordies were harmed in the making of this podcast.
Yeah. Dylan O'Rourke says, what is your special subject? 2-second clips of songs on the Alexa at volume 3 with a dog barking and the Hoover on upstairs. That's basically what it is. Genuinely.
That's niche. That's very niche.
When it happens to you, it will happen to you at some stage, and you'll go, he was dead right. Anyway, That has been the Talkin Kop of a Sunday night. Thanks a million to Seany. Thanks a million to Matt. Thanks a million to everyone in the chat. Like, subscribe, comment. The 3 people that didn't like. Look, we can't please everyone. Patreon, link is in the description. NordVPN, get yourself ready for the new
Disliked
season.
it, did they? 3 disliked it.
3 people did, yeah.
The CEO
0.
of NordVPN, the CEO of Shazam, and Marinakis. That's the 3.
That's probably the 3 that done it. Yeah, sorry about that, lads. But Patreon, the link is in the description. NordVPN, get yourself ready for the season. And all your multiple devices, the security, all that sort of stuff. That's in the description as well. I've been Gav. That's been Matt. That's been Seany. That's been the Sunday night. Talk to you in a bit. Over and out.